Welcome back, ladies and gents, to Final Fantasy 16. You join me back at the hideaway, because that's where we had to go next after rescuing our Chocobo friend from the start of the game, and also dealing with that really tough eyeball notorious monster thing, whatever that was all about. So, slapped us around for a little bit, but we had to go back to the hideaway afterwards, so I thought I'd bring you back here rather than, you know, load you into the game and then have to travel here. So let's go find Gav.
Clive! Oh, I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
While the two nations beat their shields, the rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the Mother Crystals.
About to smash another one to pieces, are we?
4 Mother Crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rosfield.
Lord Byron Rosfield of the 7 High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rosfield. And you're a Rosfield, of course.
Well done for seeing it after so
My uncle's
long.
name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune. Along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
Isn't that crystal the one we were going to go for at the start of the game with our family? Was it showing me the Moogle? Yeah, I swear that crystal was the one we were originally supposed to go for at the start of the game. Otto's counter is now open. New facilities. The following hideaway facilities are now available. Alliant reports. I think that was before, wasn't it? We could do that before. The Patron's Whisper. And the Hunt Board. All 3 located near Otto in the Mess. Completed side quests available through the Alliant reports or defeating notorious marks from the Hunt Board, which I'm assuming that big eyeball thing we fought in the last episode was one of those then. Notorious marks. Will earn Clive renown. So that's what that green thing is at the bottom there with a star in it. It's renamed. Inspiring nameless benefactors from across the Twins to donate money or items to Clive's cause. Visiting Desiree. Ooh, nice. Desiree at the Patron's Whisper at the Hideaway's Best to view current rename level and accept any donations available. Hello, Desiree. A new quest is available nearby. Down there somewhere, with a little chest on it. Let's go and have a look at these notorious marks before we do anything else. Did we even get down there?
So Mather's alright.
Why has it got a little Mr. Meeseek symbol as well? I don't know why the hunt board is just like, you know, a Mr. Meeseek symbol in it. Clive, there you are, Cooper. I've been looking all over for you.
What's the matter, Nectar?
The matter is this, Kupo.
The hunt board? It's where the Cursebreakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our operations if they were left to roam free. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Was that what you wanted to know?
Of course not, Kupo. I knew all that already. And that's why I need your help, as in not to remind you, Kupo, I'm the mightiest of all Mugos. No fiend of the forest of Ghoul or Greensword can measure up to whatever he said there. So I need you to slay them all.
Right. Well, leaving your mightiness aside for the moment, the people of Valisthea are going through a lot already. What with the Blight and the war. The last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. So if the Cursebreakers are too busy to help, then perhaps I can. Or at least I can try.
Oh, thank you, Kupo. It's so good to have found someone who understands me. I'll stay here, keep an eye on the billets, and get posts on the board. Let's view the HUD board. Reports of fiends terrorizing the countryside are posted on the hunt board, in the hopes of fearless heroes such as Clive will take it upon themselves to hunt down and slay the notorious marks. So that one obviously has already got a cross in it because we did it. It's called an Ahriman, which is a very popular name for these floating eyeballs. A member of the Blood Actors stationed at Martha's Rest reported that he was being set upon in the marshes by an otherworldly horror with a single staring eye. It flew at him on bony bat wings, scratching him with claws black as night and sharp as razors. Naturally he fled in terror, but if a battle-hardened Blood Axe cannot cope with the mere sight of such a creature, what hope do the rest of us have? And then we've got something called the Angel of Death. Trader coming from the way of Caer Norvent met with a troop of Cursebreakers travelling in the opposite direction and warned them of a wicked winged harpy on the road ahead, his eyes wild and flickering. Though the Cursebreakers saw nothing untoward on their own journey through their pass, the sound of crackling laughter from the trees ensured that they kept a brisk pace. Near Clairview Sambrack. Now if I had to guess, the Angel of Death sounds sort of like one of those Grim Reaper things we fought in Phoenix Gate. But I could be wrong. And then something called Balfagor, which is B. I'm guessing C is easier than B. B would be probably easier than A. A would probably be the toughest unless they got an A+, I'm guessing. Reports have been received of a wild avis of striking size making it a nest atop the hill adjacent to Eastpool. Though all efforts being made not to rouse the beast's ire, it is surely but a matter of time before it needs to feed. I hereby petition any brave volunteers to march to the northern border that we might cut the fiend down before it makes trenchers of nearby villages. And that's near the Broken Hilt Rosaria. So I'm just going to scribble these down. I don't know if they're marked on the map, but let me just scribble these down so I know where to look roughly. This one is the Broken Hilt Rosaria. Trust me to pick a pen that don't work. There we go. Broken Hilt Rosaria. And then this one is Clairview Sambrack. So there we go. I scribbled those down. As I say, I don't know if they're marked on the map, but if I write them down, I know if we're in the area to have a look. Vivian's got some more information for us, but let's see if we get down to that side quest. We have to... down. Yeah, this one. That.
I hear there's trouble in Rosaria.
Trouble in Rosaria? More than likely.
Right to touch him?
Is this how we get there? Oh, down this way. A very well thought out hideaway, is it? Let's be honest with you. Ah, the garden man again.
Won't be long now, Martel. Sid, I was hoping to speak to you.
Is everything all right?
Oh, yeah, it's just, well, as you know, we've been trying to grow fruit down here.
It's good to know that something of the old hideaway still lives on.
Martel's pride and joy. It was a sapling when she rescued it from the rubble, but look at it now. All our hard work's finally paying off. I took it on, you see, after she died, and now the fruit's finally ready to eat. And not only is it ready, it's actually tasty. Sweet as you like, in fact. She bred the bitter right out of it.
Impressive. And welcome news to more than a few, I'd say.
I thought this first harvest could go to the curse breakers, on account of all they do for the hideaway. You couldn't take them some, could you? Seems better them coming from you.
I suppose so. 10 renown and 600 quid.
It'll be nice being the bearer of good news for a change.
Oh, thank you. She always had a soft spot for that lot, see? And once they've had their share, I'll see to it that everyone else gets some. Here you go. Martel apples, they're called, in honor of her memory. You hear that, Martel? Today's finally the day.
The fruits of her labours. Two baskets of Martel apple. There's a very long-winded run back from that bloke who gave me the apples, man. This new hideaway is a bit of a maze, but for future reference, you can just cut through the forge instead of running all the way around like I did.
You two look like you could use something to eat. Here, courtesy of Martel.
Have some apples.
Martel. Now, where have I heard that name before?
Weren't she the girl from the Furrows?
Course she was. An odd sort, that one. Loved plants more than people.
Aye, and brave as a bane might. Remember when she ran back into the hideaway to collect them trees when Titan attacked? Wait,
These aren't those apples, are they? Well, I'll be. She'd have been proud, and rightly so. Thank you, Sid.
Not a problem. We got another one here.
A gift from the backyard. For your service.
Blimey, these take me back. I haven't seen a hideaway apple since. Old Sid was the only one who could stomach the things. He'd nab them right from the branch, made Martel livid. Not that anyone could stay mad at the man for long.
That sounds like the Sid I knew, all right.
Planning on keeping that lot to yourselves, were you? Hang on. These aren't Martells, are they? I'm glad to see someone carried on what she started. Can't have been easy, not in the Deadlands. Reckon she'd be happy knowing all her hard work didn't go to waste. Clive, tell the lad down in the backyard to run some over for me, will you?
Not so much as a thank you. Well, I've got some manners at least. Thanks, Sid. You can leave the basket with me. I'll see that the others get their share. Oh, and give our compliments to the gardener, won't you?
I'm not running all the way back there, mate. Screw off.
I should head to the backyard and pass along everyone's regards.
Of course I will.
The Cursebreakers send their thanks. And their compliments. They were clearly very fond of Martell.
They remembered her. After all these years. I suppose she was very kind, even to a tongue-tied lummox like me. You were one of the good ones, Martell. Why did you have to die? She put
Probably.
everything into her work. She wasn't going to rest until we had fruit sweet enough to enjoy. And now we do. When she died, I named a sapling after her. And now it's a full-grown tree. Martell lives on through the fruit it bears.
And through you. Her dream would have died with her, had you not kept it alive. That's something to be proud of.
I didn't do anything really, but thank you. You're kinder to me than I deserve.
By the way, Otto's expecting some of your crop. And I wouldn't mind some of it either, if that's not too much to ask.
Of course not. I'll see that you're both well provided for. They like your fruit, Martell. Isn't that wonderful? I'd say it's about time we planted you some siblings, don't you think?
Sort of had a weird end to it for me, I don't know. We got 65 renown. Nearly another level up as well. We got some apples displayed in our chambers. He's gonna make me run all the way back as well. I keep getting lost. Was that the only? Literally everybody's got something new. We don't have to worry about that. That's just music. We don't have to worry about that. That's an arrowhead stone. Got something on the reading table. Got something on the wall of memories. State of the realm. And let's go and look at the patron's whisper now. Speak to Desiree. Oh, here's Desiree.
Oh, Clive. Welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
The Patron's Whisper? Does that mean someone else is taking care of our friend's donations?
Oh no, that's still me. It's just Karen has her toll, Blackthorn has his hammer. I thought a new name might liven things up. I still catalogue every item that arrives, in addition to setting aside those tokens of appreciation the sender has specified are to be presented to you personally. Would you like to see if we have any?
Sure, why not?
Is everything we've received and everything promised?
Completed side quest, defeating tourist Maxwell and Clive Renown, inspiring nameless benefactors to donate money or items towards Clive schools. Visit Desiree in the Hideaway's mess. If you current Renown level, will accept donations available. Renown is not used upon accepting donations and will never diminish. Right, so we got Talk of the Tea House. A merry band of outlaws and a dashing deeds of daring do are all the talk amongst the ladies of the court. We've gathered together several items worth that you might consider to your... So we got 400 ability points. Some bloody hide, steel silk, and valley madder.
Here you are.
Nice. And then we got respect. 1 meteorite. In order to... Our order is 1 built on pride, but that does not mean we are too proud to give thanks where it's due. We may have failed Martha once, but never again. The blood axes.
You earned this.
The next thing is a berserker ring.
Come again. I may have more for you.
Kind of looks like a Desiree as well, you know what I mean? Let's go speak to this lady. Oh, there's a wall there.
Ah, my favorite pupil. What is it that you wish to learn?
Speaking with Vivian, the Hideaway's map room, Clive can view the state of the realm and learn more about the current goings on in Valisthea, revisit any of Ninetale's past lessons, or take a deeper look at the relationship with those individuals in Clive's orbit.
I have the details here.
Grand Cast. Here you can view detailed visualization, characters, relationships in Final Fantasy 16 that updates you as progress. That's pretty cool. All new features now accessible here in the Grand Cast. The inner voice of forge your window to both Clive's heart and the hearts of those he has encountered on a journey. After opening the feature, select a character to hear the innermost thoughts on other members of the cast. So this tells you whose relationships with who and quite interesting.
One must understand one's place in the world.
Here you can view detail of your current past events that are relevant to Clive's story that updates your progress through the main scenario. This is the who's at war and whatever else. Well, I like the way they've done all this lore stuff, actually. It's really interesting. They should keep it going in the future Final Fantasy series. And I'm just going to check my route, and then we can crack on to Hawk's Cry Cliff. There was letters or something we needed to read. Check our wall of memories, and there we've got the oath, we've got apples, and we've got Ambrosia's tap. Bird by any other name. Forgive my insistence on writing you these silly letters, but that we had more time to speak to each other in person, but for every day we spend together it feels as though we must suffer another two apart. I am gladdened to hear that your most unexpected reunion with Ambrosia, or should I say Whiteheart, told me that once how your chocobo sacrificed herself to protect you at night, that night at Phoenix Gate, and here, so many years later, we find she has spent her life doing the exact same thing, defending others. Some things never change, do they, Clive? And then that was the Republic. Yeah, we've already read that one. Right, we're good to go. So... open the world map. Only place we can go for the time being is here. Oh, actually, what I will do quickly is speak to the guy next to Desiree. Yeah, I just had a quick run to speak to the guy next to Desiree to see if he had any like side quests or anything going on there as well, but no, he didn't. So Hawk's Cry Cliff. From these heathered highlands, one might catch a glimpse of Rosalith Castle and everything else in between. Can't go on the hunt for those two things either because it won't let us go anywhere else.
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
Wargirl on the spot. You noticed something?
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
We will face it together then.
To the end.
Please don't tell me she dies as well. And let's say we end up getting Sheba.
Come on.
Bloodlines.
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We visit as many as we can and hear their stories. Starting with the village of Amber.
5 gil. Yeah. Ride our bros here for the first time. Where do we run? Oh, there we go. Killer bees. What's that? Oh, it's another one I'm dragging. It runs a bit weird, this chocobo. I want to grab this item. Doesn't turn the best either. Jesus. That's some god-awful cornering skill.
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Quiet, you! I think we're loyalists.
Jill, look.
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her, that she might rise once again from the ashes to welcome a new dawn. 'Twould be a pity to make examples of you all, for the transgressions of but a handful.
Of course, your lordship. You shall have our full cooperation.
And a sword in the back of the head.
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small? There's barely room to hide a bearer.
Then they must be here for something else.
You fancy dancing a gallows jig like the miller's son?
All right, I heard you the first time.
Speak to him in a second. I just want to see what this merchant's got.
Welcome, stranger.
Gear blade. He's got cobalt tassels. Limit break generation amount by 6%. He's got our music. And he's got an elixir. We still need some elixirs. But they're 10 grand. And we've only got 40 grand, so not sure we can afford them. We also need Lionheart tonics. But there's no rush for those. All limit break related.
Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There have been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a Black Shield was murdered. The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants, Empire gets.
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the culprits. You'd have to be dull as a sack of stones to think you could take on the Empire. What with their 100 full legions?
Ooh. Don't mind if I rob you, do you, lady? 10 spools of steel silk.
We're
going hunting for outlaws.
Oh, there he is. You see, nearby. I can't see him.
You seen him, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shields. Just now. You seen him, didn't you? At least I think they was the Black Shields. Can't say I ever saw one before.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
What do you think? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harboring firebrands. Huh. If only we were. I might have turned them in and become a Black Shield myself.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know. But we need to find out.
Yeah, we do. We just do a lap of this guy's house in case there's a another 10 school. Yeah, there is right there. Goblin coin. Excuse me. You want to talk to me?
Greetings, friend. We are travelers.
I know that. What do you want?
We couldn't help noticing those Imperial soldiers who were here earlier.
Don't you go telling these strangers a thing. I speak for the people of this village, and we have nothing more to say to you. You are to leave Amber and never come back.
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but your presence puts us all in grave danger. The Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift. But as long as we keep our heads down and pay our tributes, we are left alone. Some might call it submission. But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, then I will gladly submit. This village will not become another East Pole.
Then we shall be on our way.
Just turn around and go back in there.
These people live with a knife to their throats. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing. We still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosari would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperials do? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
Right, we can go. Yeah, we can go to Lost Plume, or we can go right there. I guess. Let's
Let's go.
Go this way because we
Faster!
haven't discovered this side yet.
No need to ride from here.
There is. Oh yeah.
Look around you. We cannot afford to lose any more than we already have.
There, by the way. How'd you get?
We can't ride a chocobo through the village there. There you are. Thank you very much.
Run like the wind.
There's some Black Shields here. We've got to slap them around, let's be
More
honest.
of my mother's men.
Where do we get off? There we go.
Nice try.
Good night. Cheeky little level up. That's a big dude over there. What's that?
Let's go.
See it in the background now?
Fly, Ambrosia.
I don't want to walk into a battle with those or those. Let's have a quick peek at what it is. Oh, it's another one of those. Look at the cornering on it. It's like a Formula 1 car. No more black shields here, is it? Yeah, these need slapping.
Thanks, girl. This might take a while.
Alive. I wonder why the battle hadn't stopped.
This is no
Gotta
time
make...
to ride.
Well, yeah, it is. Gotta make a habit of slapping around the backfields if you find them.
Run like the wind.
If nothing else, but just to annoy my mother, you know?
Blood, Clive.
And still wet.
And a lot of it.
You were told to stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
You know who we are. And still, you would bear your steel. Why then, we owe you our thanks. You have saved us the trouble of an interrogation. To dwell in darkness, that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these, our swords we swear.
Say that again. I'll show you a true chieftain's
He's still alive. Where is he? There he is. No cure, people. We have spent some of these AP points. We've got quite a lot now. Still need to have a little play around to see which ones I want and which ones I don't, but still.
Tell me what I want and the end will be swift. Who are you looking for?
Why, you. We come bearing a message. Your friends have been found. The branded you freed from our camps. They await you in Odil. Guardians of the Flame.
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry.
They're all dead. There's no need to rush. We know this by now. It's obvious. Yeah, this leads us back the other way that we could have came, I suppose. We know how my mother works and how these black shields work. I'm gonna go in there. Oh, hello. Scared the shit out of me for a moment there. Yeah, because we can reset abilities for the time, like any time we want. From now, what I'm gonna do is upgrade the ones that we currently use. So this one, which makes it last longer, 4,000 to master it. We've mastered those ones. We've mastered these ones. So we've got this one, which increases the hit ability and radius. And this one, which increases the number of lightning strikes. Both of these will do more damage, so upgrade that one. Oh, we're 20 points short for that one. And then we'll upgrade that one, and I'll have a little play around in my own time when I get 5 minutes to find out which ones I like. Before we go into the village, though, I think we're going to get another massive lore dump and stuff like that. But we know what's waiting for us as soon as we walk through the gate. So I'm going to end this episode here. Again, a massive thank you, as always, to those of you who watched. I really hope you enjoyed the episode. And I'll hopefully see you all in the next one for some more Final Fantasy 16.